So hi, how do you think the inequalities in China at the moment, particularly versus the US?
Yeah, so the inequality in China is higher than the US. It stands at in the US at 0.4 and at China is 0.5. This is the Gini coefficient, which measures the inequality of income, the distribution of inequality. And this is an area in central Beijing, next to a very nice area as well that we'll go to, that's just 2 minutes away. And this is a mall 2 minutes away from the place we just shot at, and it's catering for the wealthier population of Beijing, as you can see the road behind me.
And do you think the wealth has increased over the last few years relative to the poorer demographic?
Based on the studies, China comes third in inequality, and it seems that this inequality is increasing in China.
We are talking about banks, and can you give me the relationship between this square, this picture, and the banks?
Right, so everything goes back to 1949. You have here a picture of now. Back then, the first sector to be socialized, nationalized, was the banking sector. From the 50s all the way up to the 80s, the government practically performed all money operations from supply, and back in the 80s there is the first big reform. The reform program established by the government led to the access of enterprises to bank loans. This changed the landscape drastically.
Thank you.
No, that wasn't all.
Yeah, but
It was already
the rest we do it the next time. That's the first part. Manuel, what happened after the 1980s?
Following the program reform of the government, the next milestone was 1995, when banks had to separate to good banks and bad banks, separate good loans and bad loans. And these brought forward the banking system of 2003, 2004, where the first listing of a Chinese bank happened in Hong Kong. This fostered growth, and for example, the Shanghai Stock Exchange worth 400 billion in 2005. After 2010 was already worth more than 4 trillion US dollars. More than 500 companies had been listed by that time, including some of the major Chinese banks.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about the luxury brands in China. We know that there's a lot of growing interest in the luxury brands, but we're wondering how this business is doing and who is actually buying these products.
According to the Bain's latest report on luxury industry, they said that the market in China has been decreased a lot, of around 2%, from 11.5 billion to 11.3 billion. And the main result of the decrease coming from the gentlemen's clothes, watch, and luggage. So we just talked to the sales in the store, the Vania, very well-known brand name. The sales confirmed the data.
In addition to the domestic luxury brand market, there's also a cross-border off-the-record transaction going on, which is facilitated by individual buyers. And this market has a size almost half of the size of the domestic market. And it appears that in the last year, most of the decrease was in this sector, around 30%. The sales dropped from estimated £6 billion to £4 billion.
The main reasons for the decrease is the sales could be attributed to the downturn of the economy and the success of recently imposed anti-corruption measures.